Hello everyone, so we're a little bit late to the office today. I went to Ralph's house to pick him up and he was busy doing shit. I was like, Ralph, you ready? He's like, oh, sorry, I'm just editing at the moment, bro. I'll be down in a minute.
Oh, it's not what it looks like.
None of this is true. Not even a little bit.
I was a little bit late today, but that's okay.
Late as fuck. He's like, oh, bro, what called me? Like, oh, I slept in an hour after he's meant to pick me up. I'm like, fuck this guy.
I was, if only I can go back to the future, then it would have been better. Booyah, what a segment.
The hat. Did you do that whole segment just so you could talk about...
Let's try and get it on the camera again. Ready? Whoa!
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
That's good.
Not even close, baby! I was actually up at 5 this morning, okay? I played the Fallout 76 beta because it was only going to be live for like 2 hours this morning.
Because he's a bit of male.
That's right. So I got on, I played it, I got some stuff to talk about with regards to how that performs now.
Oh, this smells like shit.
It is shit.
Oh good, then it's not just me.
Also, some massive, gigantic vulnerability issues have been discovered in Fallout. As if this game wasn't enough of a clusterfuck already, turns out its problems could only just be getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallout news coming up.
So everyone that's played the wonderful Fallout 76 has known that it's been a buggy disaster. The buggiest disaster.
Bro, it's a beta. Okay?
It's a beta. It's
Don't
okay.
you know what a beta is?
It's definitely not a demo. It's like a demo, really. It's fucking coming out in like a week and a half now, for God's sakes. But out of all, like
it is coming out in 7 days.
We've pretty much played every single beta out this year, and I've never seen anything as buggy as this so close to launch. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs.
A lot of people are saying, guys, just give them the chance to fix it. It's going to be fine at launch. So what they did yesterday was they deployed a 30 gigabyte patch to the client. And just to keep in mind, the whole client is actually only 48 gigabytes, okay? So 30 gigabyte download to the client. The patch notes said that they fixed like some stuff. So like they got rid of the T-posing, unfortunately, which is sad.
Oh, damn.
They have fixed the water, which funnily enough.
What they really did is they just put Fallout 4. They were just like, here's Fallout 4. I'm like, oh, okay,
no,
this feels good.
So they did this. They also said some stability changes. They said a few minor bug fixes, and that was 30 gigabytes to do all of that. But anyway, that's another story. I logged on yesterday, this morning I should say, played it. Performance is definitely somewhat better, but it still drops a lot. I still get a lot of frame loss. I dropped down to about 45 frames on a few occasions, very often dropping down to like 50 frames. But here's the thing, right? Earlier in the cycle, it was revealed that the game speed is linked to frames per second, okay? Which is an old sort of artifact of the engine that they've been using for like a decade now.
Sure.
Everyone's like, okay, they have to fix this. Their solution is
best solution ever.
actually to hard cap the FPS at 63 FPS. You cannot go a frame above that at all.
So it doesn't matter if you have the top of the line computer, you are literally playing the game like you had like a GTX 980. Like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's always locked. Now, what happened? This is just to be clear, this is bad because some people were able to get the game to run pretty comfortably at 120 frames before, and they weren't having any frame drop. It was stable for them.
Yeah.
Those people, bad fucking luck. Now you're going to be playing at 63 FPS.
We're slowing down.
They needed to do this very lazy workaround to avoid the speed hacks exploit, where people could mod the backend INI file and basically make the game run, twice as fast. Okay, so look, that sucks.
I think it's also important to mention that we don't know if this is just a patch that they are going to then implement later on once it's out, and then of course you can run it right back to 120 again. We don't know, but I mean, so close to launch, these are not the problems that you would be expecting.
Why would you deploy a patch that changes it to 63 FPS capped, and then 7 days later do another patch that are due to 120?
I agree with all that.
Why would you do that?
I'm just saying maybe they're just like, shit, we need some sort of fucking, we need to fix this now, and then we'll come back to it later. But we saw in the comment section people saying they've got their pre-order kind of taken back. A lot of people wouldn't even give this beta a second chance because it was so bad.
Would you like to play again? You have selected no.
On top of that, basic things are still missing, like there was no field of view slider added, numerous graphical options are missing, there's no ultra-wide support, and it still stretches the image across all of ultra-wide, so when you play it actually just looks all
so
like, kind of stretched out.
You've got the fattest gun ever. You're like, whoa, this is mad.
So it's still a train wreck from a technical perspective, even though it is somewhat more stable than it was before, but it does have that important trade-off of now it's capped at 63 FPS. All of this, though, is actually child's play compared to what was revealed yesterday, with a very experienced modder coming out and talking about how this game is set up in terms of its network infrastructure and its ability to be modded, right?
Yeah.
So a week ago, it was emerged. So a week ago, it emerged that you could actually mod this game pretty easily because it's pretty much the same as Fallout 4, right? And there were already some mods that were put into place.
Sure.
So people were able to change the color of their hair and their outfits and that sort of stuff, right? And PC Gamer actually interviewed one of the modders and said, hey, what's up with this? And the modder said, well, the game is basically identical to Fallout 4, so I just used one of those mods, dropped it in, made a few changes, boom, it worked.
This is the problem, we were chatting about this at breakfast, this is the problem with having the same game engine where people have, thoroughly understood how to mod the shit out of it, you know? Not only, of course, does this game desperately need a new engine because it's now moved on in terms of the times, but people that know how to mod shit will just look at this and go, wow, this is child's play, let's just jump in. And because it's so PvP based, God knows how much this is going to fuck up the game like it did with Division.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's exactly right. We'll come back to that point because it's very important. But coming to this post, it was a Reddit post that was put up recently, and it got a lot of upvotes, got shared around a lot, and Bethesda actually ended up responding to it. So what this guy essentially said was that because of the way they've built their network architecture, the server trusts the client far too much. When you build these ongoing games, you basically need to make the server king. It needs to be in charge of everything. It needs to be dictating everything because clients lie, right? You can mod your client, and if your server is trusting that information, it's very open to anti-cheat. He was saying that from his perspective, there's a lot of information being transferred back and forth that's trusting the client, and also a lot of the data that's transferring back and forth is actually not encrypted, which can do things like expose people's IP addresses.
Yeah, I think the big question everyone's going to be asking is like, how long will it take them though to fix all this kind of stuff? Is this like a 3-month thing? Is this a year thing? Or is it just there forever?
Here's the thing. Bethesda did respond to this post, and they did say that a lot of this information is incorrect or based on incorrect assumptions.
Sounds like Blizzard again.
However, they said the post did identify a number of things that the team is already looking at, right? So what they're saying here is that, like, we don't agree with all of this, but some of it's right, and we're tracking it already. The fact that some of the information in this post is correct is deeply worrying.
Definitely.
There's some proof provided. Now, this guy did not provide proof for everything he said, and I'm not going to say this is 100% accurate, but he did provide some proof in the form of a cheat that's already active and already working in Fallout 76. There's a lockpick mod which you can use, and all it does is it brings up a little bar at the top of your screen that shows you where the sweet spot is when you're lockpicking. You can see the video here on screen, and this is now working in the game. Now, if one cheat can work in this game
so quick, even in the beta, like people have already figured this shit out,
and that's just by copying an old Fallout 4 mod, then many other cheats can work, and we're just getting started with regards to how bad all this can end up being.
I think it's going to be really damaging because if we look at PUBG, for instance, a lot of people were scared away from PUBG.
100%.
Not only because it was buggy as fuck, just like Fallout lol, but also because you would jump on
cheating ruined that game.
Yeah, and you don't know if you got a headshot because the guy was good or if the guy was just fucking cheating. And this can easily be the same thing. People won't want to engage in PvP, or they won't want to engage in the game in general because they're like, I don't know how fair this fucking playground is. You know,
totally. And I mean, and this is important because the Division almost died on the vine on the back of its cheating issues on the PC. I mean, even today, it's still a bit of a problem, to be honest with you. But, you know, and at the very beginning of the Division's life cycle, I remember reading a very detailed post from a, like a network architecture dude, did that for a living, and he's like, from what I've seen, it is impossible for them to properly stamp out cheating.
Yeah.
And that guy was 100% correct. The posts that we're seeing here from people that seem to know what they're talking about also indicate that it is impossible for Bethesda to fully stamp out cheating in this game because they're so reliant upon an engine that everyone has modded to shit and everyone understands very deeply, and network architecture that trusts the client far too much.
Yeah, I think that, there's certain games that come along like Overwatch. I do love my Overwatch, but it's funny to see the care that they put into the anti-cheat.
They did a lot of work on that. Destiny as well.
Yes.
And
I think that
Call of Duty recently with their PC port.
and all these AAA titles, you know, they just seem like they've got the manpower to make sure that that's taken care of. And I would expect Bethesda.
People power, thank you very much.
Sorry, people power.
Sexist pig.
Terrible.
We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
What?
I would expect them to, you know, really make sure that based on how many people are working there, that's a better word for it, then, you know, they would make sure that this is a huge priority, especially because it's PvP.
And especially because you've literally put this on an engine that people have been modding for 10 years. They know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, exactly right, actually. That's so true. Based on how much knowledge that Bethesda knows on, like, this has already been a problem in their previous games, you'd expect this to be, like, nearly at the top because they're releasing a PvP game. But it's not. It's like, what the fuck?
It's deeply concerning. And it's so amazing to watch everyone try to defend this sort of stuff. People have been defending the technical side of this game. I've never seen anything like it. Where
I know.
People are just so willing to say, "Oh, I don't care that it runs like crap. I'm having fun."
I know. That's what I was. It's always finishing with, "I had so much fun."
Yeah, I don't care about cheating. I don't care about cheating stuff. I'm having fun with my friends, dude. It's not about whether or not you're having fun.
Yeah.
It's about whether or not this game is inherently like a properly finished product.
Exactly right.
Deserves $60 of people's money.
Yeah.
Is this something that is worthy of the Bethesda Game Studios brand? Like, come on, man. There's no fucking way people can defend this sort of shit at this point.
And another point I think is worth making, another chat at breakfast actually a few days ago is, you know, it used to be okay when, you know, a Bethesda game would come out, and of course it was a little buggy because it was pushing so much.
Ambitious.
It was ambitious. It was trying to make a giant open world, and it was really trying to make a statement in the industry. It's like, hey, like, we're pushing shit forward.
Yeah.
We might be getting a few things wrong because it's such a huge task, but, like, you know, we are being fucking ambitious. But this doesn't feel like that, you know? Like, games like Red Dead and stuff, I know it's a different game entirely, but that comes out, it's like, well, this is pushing the industry forward. You know, this is how we want to do things in the future. Where Bethesda's, you know, 76 doesn't feel like it's made a huge statement, and it's buggy as hell. It's got a 10-year-old fucking engine, a 15-year engine or whatever, and it's just, you know, it doesn't warrant excuses, in my opinion.
I remember the absolute memery that was Mass Effect Andromeda's release. And that just had some wonky facial animations and some shitty writing, okay?
Sorry, my face is tired.
Freak! Everyone went fucking apeshit. This is a... Mass Effect Andromeda is a technical fucking masterpiece.
Yeah. There was no T person
compared to Fallout
no
76. And yet Fallout 76 seems to be getting a free ride from so many people. The game is out in 7 days, people. They just dropped a 30GB patch. How much more proof do you need that this is not going to land well from a technical perspective? And now we've got these anti-cheat concerns as well.
Yeah.
My God in heaven, please, comment section, back us up, for the love of God.
I actually want to see the comment section because, you know, let's keep it friendly, even if it's layman. It's always
let's
savage.
Just have it out here,
you know,
man.
fucking have it out.
Go,
whatever.
I've got 1 million views on that other video now,
Yes.
and like a quarter of the people that watched that video have disliked it because they think, fuck this guy, it's a beta, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, he's probably just like, fuck this guy because he's shit, probably.
It's also
but that's also the thing.
Exactly
but we'll have to keep tracking this story, fam. Love you, appreciate ya.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is all there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains.
It is shit.